It was New Year's Eve 2019 when health officials in China admitted they had a problem.
Health authorities have activated their most serious response level
after an outbreak of a new type of viral pneumonia.
More than 10% of the American workforce is now unemployed due to closing.
The NBA has suspended the season.
Unprecedented coronavirus panic shopping.
Worried customers have been snapping up everything in sight.
We've taken a terrible hit. 100,000 people is just really historic.
They tried to trace its origin. They found a likely source: this food market in Wuhan.
But officials believe that it all started in Wuhan, China.
Doctors have named the disease COVID-19, or coronavirus disease 2019, indicating
where the virus came from. Bats gathered in China for food.
A third of Chinese city dwellers eat wild animals. This is how novel viruses jump from animals to humans. The People's Daily official newspaper ignored the announced outbreak on January 1st. In fact, there was no mention of the epidemic for 20 consecutive days through January 20th.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S.
3 billion trips are expected to be made by Chinese citizens heading home to celebrate the Lunar New Year Spring Festival.
It has not yet become a global health emergency.
I don't think people should be frightened. I mean, the risk right now, today, currently, is really relatively low.
Coronavirus is here in Israel, and authorities are rushing to come up with a suitable response.
Do not travel to specific regions in Italy and South Korea.
No social distancing at U.S. airports as Americans returning from Europe are forced to wait hours to be screened for COVID-19.
There will not be a strict shelter in place for New York City.
It's not going to happen. Well, I hear it is going to happen. I said, but I know, but I would have to do it. And I'm telling you, I'm not doing it.
That COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
This is going to be very, very tough for all of us. There's no question about it. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice here, a lot of pain.
The state of New York now with the grim distinction of being the epicenter of the crisis in the United States.
If we see people in groups, we're going to break them up. If we see a place that's too crowded, we're going to get people dispersed.
These are not normal times. We're at the extreme. You've got to conserve your cash for a rainy day. It's not a rainy day, my friends. It is pouring. It is a storm. It's a 100-year flood.
And we're literally on the front lines without supplies.
Yeah. Names like Apple, Nike that you mentioned, but also Under Armour, Lululemon.
Businesses here with takeout-only signs in their windows.
Closed for business. Indoor malls now joining the list of stores shuttered by the coronavirus.
Even though there's a lot of places in Florida that have very low infection rates, it makes sense to make this move now.
This has been the worst week since 2008.
This is much worse than the 2008 financial crisis.
The coronavirus outbreak, and once again, they are affecting the stock market. Worst weeks of trading since the financial crisis in 2008.
Cost U.S. taxpayers an estimated $23 trillion. That's about $70,000 per American. More jobs are lost than during the entire global financial crisis, and millions more on the line.
Well, in the USA, the price of oil has collapsed to a record low as demand dries up and storage runs out.
This is China covered in pollution last year. But this year, the skies are clear. That's because the coronavirus epidemic had brought much of the country to a standstill.
The German government is abandoning its policy of running a balanced budget It plans to borrow 156 billion euros.
The coronavirus epidemic in Italy is really taking a toll on the economy here.
Spain is going to propose 1.5 trillion euro European Union fund to fight coronavirus.
Tax cuts had saved America's top 6 banks $32 billion. At the same time, these banks cut jobs, they slashed borrowing, and ramped up payments to their shareholders.
New $3 trillion stimulus package. This would be the largest in history.
Massive deal, but there have been those who say it is still not enough.
Governments have told people to stay at home. And in staying home, it's hurting local businesses. And those local businesses have bills to pay. SBA's economic injury disaster loans, they offer up to $2 million in assistance. These loans could be used to pay down debt, payroll, accounts payable, and any other bills that you can't pay because of what's happened to your business due to corona.
It's being called the Zooming of America.
Hey, everyone.
As the nation enters yet another week of social distancing, millions of Americans are staying in communication via the Zoom app.
Many advertisers changing the theme of their new ads aimed at elements of the pandemic.
It's our policy that your pizza is never touched once it comes out of the oven.
Grubhub, for instance, supporting hard-hit restaurants.
Restaurants are facing a crisis, and they're counting on your takeout and delivery orders to make it through.
What we are seeing today right now, though, is the beginning of beaches opening and restaurants opening.
Tonight, Texas making its first step to try and reopen the economy.
And 2 big shopping malls are ready to open their doors. Car dealers are jump-starting their showrooms.
This morning, New York City is now just days away from reopening, ending one of the longest lockdowns in the country.
We are on track to open on June 8th. Phase 1 should bring about 400,000 employees back to work. We go out there today and we kick coronavirus ass.
And GEICO's giving back $2.5 billion to its policyholders through credits. They're going to give a 15% discount to auto.
Steve Hartman found a story of love in the time of COVID-19. To hold, just not too close. With a drive-in.
They can all just sit in their cars and park like it's a drive-in movie.
But there are glimmers of hope together, with the hopes that one day.
Well, we just dropped off the meals for 30 nurses and doctors. Frank Spy's wife is a hero at that hospital, so we thank her and we Okay, check out. We just got to the hospital.
She applied for multiple loans and grants, one of them being the federal SBA's Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, which was supposed to offer advances of up to $10,000 within 3 days.
Not a single person has seen that money.
They don't have enough people at the SBA staffs to really help people.
I'm worried that by the time help is actually available, it will be too late for businesses my size.
Я думал, намного лучше будет это все. И очень плохая музыка, просто очень плохая музыка. Я думал, намного лучше это все будет. Сколько раз сюда ходил, было намного лучше. Но на этот раз как-то не удалось. Во-первых, народу мало, музыка не очень.
А что за направление?
А?
Что за направление?
Направление? Какое направление?